was quiet in 3rd grade. There were about 16 kids in our class. Then I went on to Chisago City High School and graduated in 1947. I don't want to brag, but I was valedictorian of my class. From there I went on to Minneapolis Business School, and then I became a deaconess in the Augustana Lutheran Church. I became known as Sister Jean. Working with children was great. I decided to be a teacher and graduated from the University of Omaha in 1956. There was an article in the paper that said I missed the ceremony where I was to be given an award for magna cum laude for my graduating class, but they thought I was playing hooky. But I was teaching my class because I loved it so much. I always taught 2nd grade. I was in Omaha, Nebraska, Virginia, Minnesota, and 3 schools in North St. Paul. For a total of 33 years I taught. I probably had over 600 children, but none of my own. I remained single. One thing I did then that you can't do now is have prayer in the classroom. Prayer was important to me, and my faith was important to me. Later I got my master's at U of M Duluth and took several other classes over the years. I loved learning new things like playing the accordion and the organ, Swedish classes, Bible study, painting and knitting. I was on the go a lot, but I loved meeting new people and having conversation and laughing. I love my coffee and sweets too. I really enjoyed the outdoors, travel, and photography. With friends, I got to see most of the states and go camping. We saw the world, like Australia and New Zealand. Riding camels in the Holy Lands was a highlight. There was trips to the Orient, Japan, Scandinavia, Europe, and Africa. Later, my best friend Alice and I would give slideshows of our travels to different groups, and then we would donate the money that we made for a classroom in Africa. My community and following the rules was important to me. I was on the Planning Commission for 10 plus years and the Charter Commission in Mounds View, Minnesota. We had many years invested in trying to get a senior living building built. Finally, it happened, and my sister Dorothy was the first one to move into the Bel Ray Senior Living Apartments. Did you know that my sister and I were even grand marshals in a parade in 1998? There was lots of times I would say, if there's a job to be done, a woman is the man to do it. Myself and 3 other single women became known as the Carpenter Aunts. That's A-U-N-T-S, because we were all aunts or aunts. In 1978, we first built a large redwood deck for myself. It took us about 6 weeks. Jeanette and myself were teachers and had the summer off. Alice and Sharon still had their regular jobs. We first had to terrace the hill and put in railroad ties. Then we dug and poured cement for deep footings. Alice planned the deck all out on graph paper. It had to be perfect. There was an 8x10 upper deck and an 8x8 octagon lower deck. Those decks were made very well. Over a 20-foot span, it was only off a 1/4 of an inch. Perfect. People couldn't believe 4 women did it. It's still standing today. We later built another 16x16 octagon deck and a gazebo for Alice. Then there were picnic tables and benches and other wooden crafts we made. We enjoyed working together. Oh, there was one thing though I never got to learn. I always wanted to be a pilot. Well, I did get to fly in an airplane a lot, and you could say I flew away home to Jesus 3 years ago. Thanks so much for coming to learn about me today. Class is over.